Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's LabFam podcast, the podcast where we delve into the fascinating intersection of work and family life. We'll be exploring a recent research paper that examines the relationship between home-based work, or HBW, and fertility rates. The COVID-19 pandemic dramatically accelerated the adoption of home-based work, prompting many to wonder about its long-term impacts. One key concern was productivity. Would working from home lead to a decline in output? Surprisingly, the evidence suggests the opposite. A 2021 survey by the Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development found that 41% of employers reported increased productivity with home-based work, compared to only 18% reporting a decrease. Similarly, the Office for National Statistics found that many businesses planning to continue home-based work cited increased productivity as a key driver. However, the pandemic also highlighted existing gender inequalities in the workplace. Women faced greater job insecurity and shouldered a disproportionate burden of childcare and housework while working from home. This led to increased stress levels for women compared to men. So, while home-based work offers potential benefits like increased productivity and flexibility, pre-existing gender inequalities could hinder its equitable adoption. This research paper investigates the link between HBW and fertility. It uses a panel survey, providing valuable longitudinal data on workplace flexibility. The study acknowledges some limitations. For example, it couldn't perfectly distinguish between access to HBW and actual usage. Also, the meaning of regular use of home-based work could vary among respondents. Future surveys should carefully consider the wording of questions about HBW to address this ambiguity. Another challenge is ensuring respondents accurately understood their access to HBW. This issue might be less prevalent now, as the pandemic clarified which jobs are amenable to remote work. The study focused on the UK, where employees have a legal right to request flexible working, leading to relatively high HBW rates. However, the number of women regularly working from home was still relatively low, potentially affecting the statistical significance of some findings. It's also possible that women who worked from home before the pandemic had unobserved characteristics related to childbearing. While the study didn't find evidence of selection bias based on family orientation, it acknowledges that selection into employment could be a factor. Women who left the workforce to have children might have stayed if HBW was an option. Additionally, some women may choose not to have children regardless of work arrangements. A third factor influencing both childlessness and HBW use could create a spurious negative relationship. For instance, some women might prioritize a balanced lifestyle without intending to have children. Ideally, future research would focus on women actively planning to have children to better understand this relationship. Despite these limitations, this study makes a significant contribution. It's the first comprehensive study on HBW and fertility, providing both empirical findings and a theoretical framework. It's likely to spark further research, especially given the rapid advancement of information and communication technologies, which facilitated HBW during the pandemic and shifted attitudes towards remote work. Future studies could employ advanced analytical methods to address selection bias and distinguish between short-term and long-term effects. Cross-national comparisons would also be valuable to see how these findings hold up in different welfare state and gender care regimes. Thank you for joining us for this insightful discussion on home-based work and fertility. We hope you found it informative and thought-provoking. Until next time.